So most of us in our country, we don't read. We don't have public libraries. We don't have it, and most of the countries we don't have it. It's not a habit that we have to see books everywhere. I mean, my country, for example, we have a university that has no more books. It's a shock. It's a shock. We don't have public libraries. We don't have it. Young people, the youth, are on their own. The only thing they do is entertainment, and which type, because even in entertainment there is entertainment and entertainment. There are entertainment that really build your knowledge, your knowledge. I remember when we were young, you were playing games like the Trivial Pursuit, where you have some, you learn some things about the world. They ask you questions. You will be passionate, and you will be knowing a lot about things from outside, from history, for example, from science, from languages, even from movies. It's not like you just go, even for movies, at the time when you were doing games like that, you knew who was the producer of the movie, you knew the date of the movie, the date when the movie was released, you knew the original, the music that was like, for example, the Titanic. You knew, for example, that the Titanic was from James Cameron, and for example, you knew who were the actors, and you knew who was the song on that was promoting or originate the movie, the songs of the movie, like My Heart Will Go On of Celine Dion. And then when we do games like that, they ask you about the actor, for example. Does the actor had Oscar or some? You see, it educates you. Even in music, you have games like that. They put you, for example, a music. If, for example, they play the few seconds of the music, and that music, usually the song or the music was probably a bestseller, a best of, something like that. And if the music was really, let's say, for example, a song of the group Queen, okay, and then they put the beginning of the music, and then the person stop, and then you say, oh, that few notes, it's that song, that's the title of that song. That song was released that year, and the singer is, or the group is, and then that's the kind of entertainment that you have. But today it's not the same entertainment. It's about just dancing provocatively, doing stuff, only a thing that doesn't even build, the intellect of people, and what they do is they're left on their own, and they do what, just drinking, sex, of course. That's what they do. This is the situation that happened because there is a high rate of unemployment. So you see that it's a system that is in the countries like that, and it's on purpose. And the young generation, instead of standing for their rights, okay, as Bob Marley say, get up, stand up for your right. No, they will be okay in that situation in this cycle that keep them in the way slave, or in this poor cycle, and they don't understand that the future is already hypothetical. I don't know how to say. It's already jeopardized, because there is nothing really, because the moment you reach your 30s and things are completely not moving forward, it's going to be difficult for you to see something different in your 40s and 50s. But the generation before, the generation of our parents, they had the best life in a way, because in their age, people were building family in the 20s already. They were working very good. They had their money. They had everything in the 20s. They have children, family, married, everything. They accomplished themselves in very early in their age. In the 30s, they were already settled. But for us, our generation now, is difficult in Africa, especially the central part of Africa. It's very difficult. I don't know about the West part, but I think the West Africa try to push it the best they can. But Central part of Africa is very sad because we are the same who also admire the political class, the people in power who steal from them, and we are okay with it. We are okay with it. We don't even see it as a problem. We don't see it as we are the same also who admire them. And what is very sad is like not only we admire them, we have nothing from that. And if you see the way these countries function, you have headaches because usually it's about tribes. Okay, sometimes or tribes or family affiliation, the moment they are in power there, even if this person is not doing good to the country, the people under who sometimes have nothing or get not even something from that power. And it is very sad because when you think about it, as when you want to talk about, it's difficult because everything that we do, I don't know about the other ones, okay? I will really focus today on Central Africa. Everything is about, even if that person is not doing good, he is in power, but because we are from the same tribes, because we are affiliated in a way, maybe by family or by blood, or I don't know. We agree, we accept to be inside, even if that person is not doing good, even if that situation is in a way punishing the country completely, we are okay with it. I've never seen people so selfish like the people of Central Africa. That part of Africa is, I don't know how to describe it. It's like you can't understand. And no, we don't do politics in Central Africa. It is something else, okay? It is something else. And the never-ending anger or lack of forgiveness among the people living in the same country is unbelievable. You see, it's if now, because I took some notes, but I cannot because when I think like that, usually I don't prepare notes, but today I prepare because there are so many things I want to talk about, and today it's just the first part. Okay, I was thinking about the country like Cameroon. The problem is, if you want to take an example from a country, African people in general, you in general, when we want to talk about your country as an example to explain something, you are angry. You say, don't talk about my country. And it tells a lot about you. It tells that you are not educated enough. I'm sorry to say that. Because people who are educated, when I say educated, like people who read, who are intelligent. I will be clear with you, huh? People who are intelligent, who are educated. That's why I say there is educated and there are people who are educated. There are two types of people, okay? People who read a lot. It's not about having degrees on the wall. No. It's something else. Being educated is something else. And in my language, we make difference between someone who goes to school and have degrees only because he goes to school, and those who go to school or who don't necessarily go to school but who educate themselves or who read a lot and are open in their mind, open to listen to the critics or listen to, to discover things differently. And it tells a lot about you by this attitude, by saying, oh, don't talk about my country. Because when you are really educated, you are intelligent, you are smart. When someone talks about your country, black people, you have it in general, you don't like it. You take every comment, every critics, you take it personally. And it's sad. We cannot have debate with you. We cannot explain with you many things. If I take your country and I take it as an example, if I say something that I saw about your country that you're doing, for example, that is wrong, you defend. Even in stupidity, you defend your country. Okay? It shows something about you. It tells a lot about you. You're not educated. I'm sorry to say, you're not smart. Someone who is smart, he listens. Or she listens. She listens. Even if that person doesn't agree with you, she listens. And then after that, she can say, I heard you. That part is not really something that, you didn't get, because this part is very cultural. And I understand that maybe when you talk about it, but I will explain to you something about it. But you are already in a defensive mode. People who are in defensive are not smart people. I'm sorry. People who are intelligent, they listen, they debate, they talk, they exchange with you. And people who are educated, really highly educated, when you end conversation, when you are talking with them, you don't leave empty. You have learned a lot from them. I was trying to say that, you see, earlier I said that a country like Cameroon, for example, they have Paul Biya. Okay? Paul Biya is very old at this point. Okay? He's probably the last remaining African who are still standing, the spot was still standing in power. But when you see, there are many people who are, that's why I was explaining to you that in this country, when you see people lasting like that, it has to be two parties, okay? He's not standing there on his own. There are people who are supporting that system. There are people who are supporting him. Everybody knows that Biya is always, most of the time, gone. He's gone. Biya is usually gone. I think he lives in Switzerland. How can a president of a country will be living outside this country? So who's making the decision? How come the leader? That's why I say in Central Africa, the way they rule, the way they do the presidency is like chief of villages. It's like they manage a village. That's why they don't feel uncomfortable. Like in my country, that was what it was about. Even in my country, same thing. The person, he take a bag of money, he give it to someone. Based on what? Based on what? You go, you corrupt someone, you give him money. That's what they grab money anyhow and they give it to the people or whoever they want to corrupt and everything, because they hold the country like in a village. And what is very special about these countries of ours is like you have intellectuals. I don't know if we call them intellectuals. I don't know if you should call them intellectuals. People who want to study and they have high studies. They went abroad, for example, they study, and these people are serving this so-called president who don't even have half of their IQ, half of their knowledge. So how can you explain that someone who probably had a PhD in science or in chemistry or whatever you can, or in history or whatever, that person come back home, he has been appointed by the government of this country, and boom, they go and they serve a system that makes no sense. They serve a president who hasn't even a little bit of their knowledge. If you are really intellectual, seriously, because the thing that they always say, oh, because we want to change the system, it's a lie. It's great. It's great. Because if you really love the country, you will look your degree, you look what you value, what you worth. You say, I cannot serve the system. The system is killing the country. I'm leaving. But most of them, they stay there because money. Central Africa, the great. So Paul Biya said that he's running again for presidency. What are the capacity that he has? What are even the mental capacity he can have? Okay, because people were criticizing it. Paul Biya was almost like, it was like it's Joe Biden. Same thing. Okay, yeah, it was shocking to see that in America they had a situation like that happening, because in Africa it's often, in my country it was often, okay, they do sometimes, you don't know. Look, Guinea Equatorial, same thing. Okay, Guinea Equatorial, I was a child. No, I was still in early 90s. I don't think I was already a teenager when I was in France with my father, because my father was always going to political, because he was in this environment, and he will meet opponents from other African countries. And I remember at the time there was a man from Guinea Equatorial. He was living in Island, and he was a political opponent at the time of Theodore Mbazogo, who is still in power today. I'm talking about the 90s already, and we are still in 2025. He's still in power. I have nothing against him, but you understand that if he's still there are many people who are supporting the system. That's why I'm trying to say that. Don't always say that they are innocent. These African people are not innocent. They know what they are doing. Okay? And I'll explain to you why.